Growing up on the Navajo Nation, alcohol was something I saw long before I understood. As I got older, it shaped my life into ways I did not expect it. This is my story, but this is also a story about what many young people in the Southwest face. When it started, I took my first drink when I was about 14 years old, highly influenced by family members that struggled with addiction. I lived in Tohajali, New Mexico, and for years I struggled with my relationship with alcohol. The hardest part was realizing I wasn't in control anymore. When drinking shifted from something I tried to manage to something that started managing me. It affected my relationships, my health, my sense of who I was, and looking back, I can see how much I was trying to numb not just the things that happened to me, but the things happening around me in my own community. I sat with my parents to get an understanding of their perspective on my journey with alcoholism. My dad talks about my first exposure to alcohol.
Once you experienced it, that's when I kind of felt bad about it. I was hoping that you wouldn't, but you did. But that's part of life. I mean, that's how you grow up. You grow up doing things, you're curious about it, you want to try it. So, I mean, but I knew you were going to be okay. That's all that mattered to me, that you'll be okay.
I notice it is difficult for young addicts, including myself, to discuss addiction not only within the community, but with family. Due to traditions or taboo, it is taught that you shall not question your child about how they are feeling, which makes it difficult to establish a support system.
When you won't listen to us, you do what you want to do, you just take off, we start getting worried about you. That's when we knew that you start having a problem. I guess just watching you, I mean, just struggling, and we try to be there for you, but you just don't want to listen. But we never gave up on you. We kept being right beside you, help you as much as we can, and it worked out.
Yeah. Was it hard? I guess, was it hard to just communicate?
In a way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The communication was kind of hard.
Addiction and hiding your addiction goes hand in hand. My parents and I had extremely poor communication, and my alcoholism was a fuel to the fire. This fact created an absence of strong support for me to begin healing, which is a truth that resonates with many other young adults here on the Navajo Nation.
Struggling with I guess their parents.
Mm-hmm.
With their parents. I mean, their parents are struggling, so that made them struggle, and that kind of, I still can see that. And even though I quit drinking, smoking, I can still see that, and I feel sorry for those kids. Mm-hmm. All the kids that I have coached in basketball, that I've been around. I mean, some of them were doing good, some are not, and I feel sorry for those kids. The changes I saw was you were much happier. You started glowing. We started seeing you to who you're supposed to be. That's when we knew that you were all right. That's how we could see that in you. It was hard, but we knew that we'll get to that point. And I'm glad that we got to that point where we could see you happy.
After wrapping up with my father, we moved on to my mother. My mom had a different outlook when reflecting on my questions.
Well, when I look back on your childhood, what touches me most is how often you stepped in to help with your brothers. You were so young, yet you tried to help, be like, take on that mother role and keep things together. Something that should have been my job as their mother. But I'm proud of you, and I'm also sorry you had to shoulder so much.
Taking on that role of second mother around the age of 12 was challenging. It forced me to set aside my own emotional needs in order to help care for my younger brothers.
My concern grew when you started drinking and driving, and after the accident, I realized you were struggling with some serious problems, alcohol problems.
I was T-boned in a hit-and-run collision New Year's Day in 2022. This accident served as the literal jolt I needed to begin my path to sobriety.
Since you stopped drinking, you've gained a full-time job, a broader outlook, and a real positive relationship. And you became independently strong.
As stated with my dad's input on overcoming alcoholism, I am extremely grateful and fortunate to have found a support system that allowed me to achieve a sober lifestyle.
Among the most pressing issues are exposure to alcohol and drug addiction. In addition, the lack of service that we have here in Tohajale, and it kind of limits the absence of adequate outreach programs. It limits access to support services such as counseling and mentorship.
Even though this is my personal story, it isn't just about me. What I went through is connected to the place I grew up, the Navajo Nation, and to the realities a lot of young people in the Southwest face. Out here, help feels distant. Treatment centers are miles away, and even getting a ride can be a challenge. Mental health service exists, but not close enough for most families to use. So a lot of us grow up holding heavy things with no real guidance on how to deal with them. Those generational traumas carried through our elders and passed on to us when they were placed in boarding schools, and hundreds of thousands have been displaced from their communities. The erasure of the culture from them not being able to speak their own language and to not have their hair tied or to have it grown out, as well as traditional values and practices stripped away. We still feel the repercussions to this day. Our communities struggle with poverty, underfunded healthcare, and systems that weren't built for us. For young people, the mix of isolation, boredom, stress, and the lack of programs or safe spaces make it easy to fall into things that promise escape. I didn't understand any of this when I was younger. I just knew what I saw around me. But now I can see how my story fits into a much larger picture. A picture shaped by the land, by history, by struggle, and by the strength it takes to break these cycles.